Hi everyone, in this video I will teach you how to solve systems of linear and quadratic equations using elimination method. If you are thinking about different method, let's say a substitution method, I also have a video of that, same topic but different method, so please look for that and watch that video in my YouTube channel. So in this particular method, I will be giving you three examples. Let's go to the first one. Let's solve this using elimination method. So the first thing we will do here, or we need to know, is that both equations should be expressed in terms of y. So for the quadratic equation, it should be in the form of y equals x squared plus ax squared, sorry, ax squared plus bx plus c, which is the standard form of the quadratic equation. For the linear, it should be in the slope-intercept form. Now, as we can see with these two equations, the first equation is already expressed in terms of y, but the linear is not. So we have to do something there. We need to transform that into y equals mx plus b. So what I can do here to do that is I will subtract 3 first on both sides, and that will give me x minus 3 equals negative y. Now y must be positive, so what I will do here is I will multiply each term by negative 1. This will give me negative x plus 3 equals positive y. And then I will set up the two equations like this. Y equals x squared plus 1. Now the reason why I place that plus 1 away from x squared is normally we have an x term there in the middle, but we don't have. So I will put, let's say, 0 there to represent that term, 0x. We don't need to do that. We can just write 0. So let's just write 0. Okay, now with the linear equation, we have y equals negative x plus 3. And again, if you notice, I place the negative x below that 0 that represents the x term of the quadratic equation. And I place 3 below that constant, number 1. So the next thing we will do is we will subtract each term. This will give us 0 equals x squared plus x. Okay, 0 minus negative x is plus x. 1 minus 3 is equal to negative 2. And then from here, we need to decide, or we need to solve this using either factoring or quadratic formula. So I think the best way to solve this quadratic equation is by means of factoring. So factors of x, or x and x, factors of negative 2, obviously it's just 2, so 1 and 2. Now we need to think about the signs. Which one will give us a sum of positive 1? So the 2 must be positive and the 1 must be negative, because if we add negative 1 and positive 2, that will give us positive 1, which is the numerical coefficient of the middle term. Okay, it's 1x, right? And of course, if we multiply negative 1 and 2, that will give us negative 2. And then let's solve for x. So we add 1 on both sides, and that will give us positive 1. And then here we have x plus 2 equals 0. We subtract 2 on both sides. That will give us x equals negative 2. So since we have two values of x here, that means we need to have two values of y also. So let's have if x equals 1 and if x is equal to negative 2. Let's solve for y here using the linear equation. I'm talking about this one. So y equals negative x plus 3 equals negative 1 plus 3, which is equal to positive 2, which means that the first point of intersection of these two equations is at 1 and 2. And then what if x is equal to negative 2? So we have y equals negative 2 plus 3. This is 2 plus 3, which is equal to 5. So which means that the second point of intersection is at negative 2 and 5. Okay. There you go. So that's for number 1. Let's have another example. Okay, so here, as you notice, the first equation is already expressed in terms of y, but the second is not. So what I can do here is I will add 5x on both sides, and that will give me y equals 5x. And then let's set up the problem and use the elimination method to solve for x and y. So y equals 5x. Okay, again, you notice I place 5x below x because they are like terms or similar terms. Let's subtract the terms. So this will be equal to 0. This is x squared minus 4x. X minus 5x is negative 4x plus 4. Now let's factor this out. This is x and this is x. Factors of positive 4. Two numbers that when you multiply the answer is positive 4 and add up to negative 4. That means we're talking about negative 2 and negative 2. Now since they are identical, we just need to solve one. So x equals positive 2. This one obviously is equal to 2 also. Since we only have one x, that means we only have one y, and that means there's only one point of intersection of these two graphs, of these two equations when we graph them. Let's use the linear equation to solve for y. So y equals 5x. Replace x by positive 2. So y is equal to 10. So which means that the point of intersection is at 2 and 10. There you go. So let's go to the last example. Here we have, again, the linear or the quadratic equation is already in the standard form. Okay, so let's express the linear to, let's transform the linear equation into the slope-intercept form, or express that in terms of y. Express the equation in terms of y. So we add x on both sides. This will give us y equals x minus 2. And then let's combine those two equations. So we have y equals 2x squared plus x minus 4. Y equals x minus 2. Okay, so let's subtract the terms. Cross that out. This will be 2x squared. That will be 0. X minus x is 0. Negative 4 minus negative 2 is negative 2. There you go. So what's the next step here? The next step would be, I think we can factor this out, right? Oh no, we can just solve this by like solving a simple equation. So the next step here will be, okay, let's do that here. 0 equals, I will write it first. So I will add 2 on both sides. This is 2 and then 2x squared. And then divided by 2 on both sides. So 1 equals x squared. And of course, we need to find the square root of both sides. And x means, or x is equal to positive negative 1, which means we have two values of x again. So that means we will also be having two values of y. So if x equals 1 and if x equals negative 1. So let's use the linear equation here. Y equals x minus 2. If x is 1, this is 1 minus 2, which is equal to negative 1, which means that the answer is 1 and negative 1 if x is 1. If x is negative 1, this is equal to negative 1 minus 2, which is equal to negative 3. And another point of intersection is at negative 1 and negative 3. Okay, so here we go. These are the answers. Now, before I wrap up this video, I just want to let you know that just in case you come up with an equation wherein the a of the quadratic equation is not equal to 1 or it's greater than 1, it's a complete quadratic equation, let's say 2x squared plus 3x minus 5, you can use quadratic formula, okay, or completing the square to solve for the quadratic equation. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you learn how to use the elimination method in solving for the system of linear and quadratic equation. Thank you for watching.